Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. So today I am 32 weeks pregnant, and if I sound out of breath it is because I am. My little guy is like way up in my chest, so it's getting harder and harder to breathe every week that goes by. Now today I am going to be going over my second trimester the best I remember. I did write some notes down, so if you ever see me looking away from the camera, that is because I wrote notes to kind of stay on track. To start off, my second trimester, it was in October. The second week of October is when it started, and I'm like 14 weeks pregnant, I believe it is. And during this time frame is when I started having symptoms like back pain and hip pain, and also pain in my pelvic region. So I'm guessing all of this pain was just due to the fact that my body's making more room for the baby, and also just like everything, you know, adjusting and moving around. And with this also, it brought on new symptoms like being tired in the morning. It's not like something that I'm usually used to, because most mornings I'm able to wake up with my alarm like no problem, get out of bed like 6 a.m. and get ready, go out and walk the dogs. And then also, like, if I was boarding dogs, I would be able to just like wake up, take care of them, and get everything that I needed done. But in my second trimester, it was like everything totally changed. I was having a harder time waking up in the morning and just getting simple things done, or really just having the motivation to do those things. And then also in the evening times, like say after my walks, I would be like extremely tired and need to like have a nap in like the late afternoon. And then around the evening time, around like say midnight or 1 o'clock, I was just like falling asleep on the couch and couldn't stay awake for a movie or anything like that. So during the second trimester as well, my belly bump started to show, and I have some pictures in this video that I'll show you, just like a recap on my belly progress. It definitely started getting bigger. Like I could notice in my lower abdomen region, it's like my skin was getting tighter, and it was just like kind of bumping out a little bit, but not too much yet. So that was definitely new. I mean, before I got pregnant, I was like pretty athletic, and I don't know, it's like everything was pretty tight, I guess you would say. So let's see, week 16, we decided on a name for our little boy, and we picked Walter. And we went through like a ton of different baby names, like on apps or books, and it's just like none of them we could really decide on until we found Walter. So we both liked the name Walter, and we also thought it was just like a prestigious name, and it sounded really smart, and we just kind of like wanted to give him the best name that we possibly could. So that was really exciting. Hold on a second. Okay, so let's see, some of the cravings I had in my second trimester. To begin with, I started having cravings like chicken noodle soup and salt and vinegar chips. And I guess you just wanted something salty. They say like with boys, you have salty cravings, and I guess it's pretty accurate. But in the beginning of my pregnancy I was craving like strawberry flavors, so really throughout my whole pregnancy my cravings has just changed every month, I would say. It's like something different every month. So as far as my second trimester, it was mostly consumed of like chicken noodle soup and salt and vinegar chips. Like in the afternoon I would want soup, and then in the evenings I would want salt and vinegar chips. Around this time too, I had to start buying maternity clothes, and for that I went to Ross because they definitely had like a good selection of maternity pants and shorts and tops as well, and they were all fairly reasonably priced, so it was definitely my go-to. But with maternity shopping, it was like I had such a hard time accepting the fact that I was growing in size and I had to wear these clothes because I really don't like them. Like, I really didn't like them. I still don't care for them. I mean, they're definitely comfortable, but I don't think anybody really wants to wear maternity clothes. They're not flattering at all. And I mean, yeah, so clothing. Another problem with that too was having to, not only have I bought maternity clothes once, but I've had to, like, throughout the second trimester and into my third, it's like I had to change clothing all the time, like different bras. I went up like 2 to 3 cup size in my breast, so like that alone was a major adjustment, and it was hard because it's like you go shopping and you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna pick out this bra, and then like you go in the dressing room and it just like pops off and you're like, oh, this is so embarrassing, but yeah, no, it's bound to happen. And then also with like just like the cost, it's just ridiculous in a sense. But I'll be happy when, you know, I can get back to my normal size and fit into most of all my previous clothes that I was wearing before pregnancy. Let's see what else is on here. Okay, so with the baby, with Walter, I was able to notice towards like the middle of my second trimester, he was starting to have like, you know, movement patterns. Like in the very beginning, it was like, I would say around 10 a.m. is when he was like becoming more active and awake. And then around like 1 p.m. he would be more active. Then he would like take a nap, and then around like 8 p.m. and then 1 p.m. So the interesting thing about this is like, I think it's like situational for him as well as it was for me. When my spouse was home, like Walter would be more active in my belly. So I think like maybe like him hearing his voice and like hearing us talking woke him up, and then he started to develop a schedule based upon our lifestyle and what we were doing. So like say I was like more relaxed, he would be, you know, sleeping, and then when we were both awake and talking, then Walter would be like more apt to be awake and alert. But also towards the end of the trimester, I was feeling him basically be active when I was sleeping as well, because I noticed towards the end that he would wake up and I would be sleeping, and I would also wake up from him moving around or something. On week 18, I had an ultrasound, and this ultrasound was pretty awesome because like we could see his movements. Like I seen him like yawn, and I seen him sucking his thumb, which was really cute. It was like adorable. And I got it on video too, so I have that video in my vlog, so you can check that out. And but the thing about this ultrasound was kind of difficult because the ultrasound tech diagnosed me with Placenta Previa, or partial Placenta Previa, which is basically like you have your cervix and then the placenta for the baby, and the placenta is supposed to be up top, and you know, the cervix lays below at the bottom. And for mine, it was like the placenta was lying on partially on the cervix, so it wasn't really like attached, but it still was like close enough to the cervix where they diagnosed me with a partial Placenta Previa. And when I found that out, I didn't really know too much about it, and at that ultrasound, my doctor was delivering a baby, so I then had to see the nurse practitioner, and she didn't really say too much about it and didn't know too much. So of course, when I got home, I decided to research and do my own research, and it was kind of scary because there are some things that can happen, and you know, if it did stay that way, I would had to have a C-section, and it was just like, I don't know, at that time it was really nerve-wracking, but I mean, I was just trying to be hopeful really, and praying that everything would work out and it would move like it's supposed to. So that was definitely not the easiest thing to cope with. And let's see here. Okay, so also at the end of my second trimester, we signed up for a parenting class, and we went to that, which was a great experience. There was like a lot of information that I had already known or had already researched about, so I mean, I didn't spend too much money on it. It was like $25 or something for the both of us to go, so it really wasn't that expensive. Yeah, it was great, but really the classes were long and they were late, and I don't know. I didn't really want to go to them, but I did it because of course I want to like know everything I can before birth, and also to take care of my child in the best way possible. So we did go to that, and it was okay. I did learn some things from that class, and also at the end of the class it was pretty nice to be able to go take a tour of the hospital and see where we would be going to give birth. So that kind of was nice. So it's like give you more of an idea of what to expect and where you're gonna be when you actually go into labor, where to go to labor, and then also like how long to expect to stay, or what amenities they have, which was nice. So now I know definitely what I need to bring to the hospital and what like they will have, so I don't have to worry about packing all that stuff. And I guess like one of the last symptoms that I had was feeling his hiccups. And this was like kind of odd at first when I started feeling them, because I didn't really understand if they were like little punches or like little kicks, or it was just hard to decipher like between the two. But then once he started getting a little bigger, I could definitely like feel them more often, and it was just like, you know, more constant like hiccups, and I don't know, it's just really weird. Like pregnancy in itself is kind of weird. It's foreign, of course, like I've never done this before. This is my first pregnancy, and I don't know, it's just like, it's different having something inside of you and it's living, it's moving, it's doing all these things. Your body's changing at a rapid rate, so I don't know, it's just like really odd at times. But it's also really awesome and I love it, and I'm definitely happy and I can't wait to see him and you know, like spend the rest of my life with him, because that's what this is. This is a commitment, and you know, this is wonderful in every way. But that's pretty much everything in my second trimester that I can think of. Of course, there's been like a ton of stuff, you know, we're crossing like months of time here, so there's definitely been like other things that have happened in my second trimester. If you have any questions, or you know, you want to ask me anything about like even my first trimester or second, I am in my third. I'm 32 weeks pregnant now. He's getting big and so am I. Yeah, so if there's anything else you want to know, just like comment below and I will definitely answer any questions you have. So thank you all for watching, and I will be back with my next video. Thank you. Bye.